Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and I say welcome because let's be honest, this is probably the first video of mine that you've ever stumbled across or that you're watching, considering I only have like 3 videos. So with that being said, the ice cream diet. I did this over a year ago, and basically, to be honest, I didn't post it because I wasn't proud of the production value. I also wasn't proud of the fact that I realized at the end of it, I didn't have any means by which to prove that what I was going to say I lost over the course of the 5 weeks, I had lost. With that being said, unfortunately, my wife wasn't too keen on me redoing this video or redoing this challenge because it cost money to buy the ice cream, and there was no proof that I was going to post it because last time I did it, I didn't post it. And so that made sense. So as a result, I decided, what the heck, I'm just going to make this video and put it out there because I think there's some valuable things to be learned from this challenge. And the reason I chose to do this challenge in the first place is I thought it was a controversial way of teaching some fundamental values when it comes to nutrition principles. Because let's be honest, when you hear the ice cream diet and you see someone lost weight while eating loads of ice cream, that seems counterintuitive to us. And the reason I ultimately did this in the first place is I wanted to get the idea across to a few of my clients, I'm a personal trainer, that food doesn't have a moral value. And what I mean by that is there's no inherently evil food, and there's no inherently like great food, like that just because it is, it's good or it's evil. It's how you use the food that's available to you, the resources that are available to you, to fit an overall plan that helps you maintain a healthy body composition ultimately. So that's going to look different for everybody. So what I wanted to do here is take a food that I love, which is ice cream, and when I'm trying to maintain my weight and just stay relatively healthy, I don't have any like extreme fitness goals, I eat ice cream at least 3 days a week. 3 days a week, because I love ice cream. I always tell people, like when it comes to snacking, I like to find foods that I think are worth it. Ice cream is definitely one of those that's worth it. On a side note, 2 other foods that I love that are worth it for me, popcorn and almond M&Ms together. If you haven't had almond M&Ms, compared to peanut M&Ms, it's like comparing a McDonald's burger to filet mignon. Okay, so it's just next level, and if you haven't had almond M&Ms, please, and you love M&Ms in general, they're awesome. All right, so back to the main topic. So what did I do here? The process, my goal when I was setting out on this was to prove that you could lose weight while eating an excessive amount of ice cream weekly. And so what I did here was I ate 7,000 calories a week in ice cream, which was about 4 cartons. So I typically dabbled in Walmart brand and Giant Eagle brand because, as I expressed before, my wife didn't want me spending a lot of money on the ice cream, which makes perfect sense. And thankfully I found out along the way, Giant Eagle, their ice cream is spot on. Some amazing flavors and super affordable. So if you love ice cream, try it. Okay. So I was doing 4 cartons a week, which equaled about 7,000 calories a week coming from ice cream alone in my eating. So I had to go from that starting point and understand that if I wanted to lose 5 or more pounds across 5 weeks, I needed to be burning at least 3,500 more calories than my body was taking in weekly. Okay. So for me, that looked like, on average, I eat about 3,000 calories a day to maintain my weight. And so I knew, all right, I wanted to play it safe, so I cut that down to 2,250 calories per day that I was taking in over the course of these 5 weeks. So what that looked like was 1,000 calories coming from ice cream, and the rest was coming from primarily chicken and vegetables. The reason being, I had to make sure when you're losing weight, and in general, it's recommended that you take in about 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. I was 190 pounds, 197 at the start of this. And as a result, I was trying to take in about 210 grams of protein daily because protein helps make you feel filled up. And then also you want to be a little more towards that higher end of that spectrum of 0.8 to 1.2, just because protein is muscle sparing. And when you're losing weight, the biggest thing you want to do is make sure you're losing as much of that weight, as high a percentage of that weight that you can make be fat loss, the better, because muscle is going to help you maintain your metabolism as you lose weight. So I cut that back. I did that. A few other things I did. Like I said, I ate a lot of vegetables for the rest of those like 400-ish calories to get to the 2250, because vegetables are not very calorically dense, and they fill you up. And then I also cut my eating down to 2 meals a day, just for the sake of, I'm a large appetite individual, and that helped me with feeling like I was still eating a decent amount of food in those 2 meals. And then I upped my caffeine intake a little bit so that my performance in the gym would maintain. Okay. The results over the course, I'll put pictures up, but over the course of this diet, I lost 6 pounds. So in 5 weeks, I lost 6 pounds. That told me 2 things. The first thing it told me is I took 3,500 times 6, and that was 21,000 calories that I had burned more than I had eaten over the course of 35 days. So then that also told me that my average baseline caloric expenditure on the daily was about 2,850. So what that told me then is, if I up my calories about 600 and went back to 2,850, I wouldn't be gaining weight. That was probably around where my maintenance caloric intake was to keep my body at this newfound weight. So, what are the main takeaways I got through this ice cream diet? The first one was the main thing I was trying to teach my clients, which is calories in versus calories out is real, people. The law of thermodynamics can't be overridden. There's no magic food that you can be eating excessively more calories than your body needs and you don't gain weight, and there's no magic food that you can be eating excessively less than your body needs and you gain weight, okay? It just doesn't work that way. So calories in versus calories out is real. The second thing I think I could take away from just the experience of eating that much ice cream as part of my diet is it's probably not a good idea to have 40% of what you're eating when you're trying to lean out be from a calorically dense source like ice cream. Now, with that being said, I do think a third point, though, is there's some utility to having a treat that you're giving yourself on a regular basis while you're leaning out. So while I was doing this diet, eating the ice cream almost acted as a built-in reward because it was something I enjoyed. And if I was doing all the things that I had set out that I needed to do in the day to establish that caloric deficit for the day, I was rewarded with a delicious ice cream that made it relatively easy to eat that way for these 5 weeks. Now, like I said in the point above, that doesn't mean you should be having 40% of your intake come from ice cream alone or something of the same sort. And then finally, the final point I'd like you guys to just take away, or that I think we can all take away from this experience, is have a rational plan for what you're trying to achieve with your body, one that adheres to the fundamentals but fits your lifestyle, and then execute it. So have tools in the tool belt that will allow you to do what you need to do to get where you want to go. And come up with a plan and execute it. Don't get lost in the weeds of you need to adhere to this diet or that diet or that diet, and that's the one and only way to get where you want to go. Understand the fundamentals and then be able to establish something that's going to fit with how you like to eat, but still going to allow you to achieve ultimately what you want to achieve physically. And for most of us lifestyle individuals, that's just being healthy, feeling good in our own skin. Okay? So with that said, guys, if you liked this video and you want to see some more, please like and subscribe below. And that'll also help me up the production quality of these videos, because that's part of the reason I wasn't so happy with posting this in the first place. So thanks for watching, guys. And if you want to see some more videos that will delve into the topic of nutrition on a greater scale with people who have their doctorate or I think they've explained this in a really good way, I'll have a few links for that below. But just, if I can leave you with one thing, it's remember, food doesn't have a moral value. Alright, thanks for watching guys, and hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.